audience so we can so the questions are audible online. We'll go ahead and open up the questions there for Coach DeChellis. In the back.
You guys were just talking about one game at a time. It seemed like for the last 3 weeks or the month, you guys, every single game has really meant something. Is that going to help you as opposed to if you had 2 or 3 more wins and you had a couple games you didn't have to have? It seemed like you've had to have every single one of these. Is that mindset going to help you in the tournament?
Yeah, I hope so, Jeff. It's been, you know, I got some questions about the, you know, the one-and-done kind of thing going into the conference tournament, and we've been on a one-and-done run for several weeks because there were games that we had to win to stay alive in this whole thing. And so that pressure our kids, you know, the pressure to win, the pressure to prepare well, the focus they had to have in the film room, focus on the floor. That, you know, I don't know how many times I said to them, this next game is really, really important. And we get, you know, and I'm sometimes brutally honest with them in the sense that you got to have it. You know, we don't get this one, you know, it's going to be really, really hard for us. And then we win a game, I'd say, okay, you know, we won, but now we got to move on. We really haven't done anything yet. You know, I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. So, but trying to keep this team focused, I think they've done a great job with that. Focus coming into the tournament. Hopefully, we'll have some focus on Thursday. And I brought them into the locker room last night, right after we got back, and put them in the locker room and told them what I thought about what we had to do and what we've done and what we haven't done, and tried to start that focus last night when we got back to the Jordan Center. I told you, you enjoy your plane ride home. I'll give you an hour, 59 minutes, whatever it was. But once we get back to the Jordan Center, we're all going to meet, and I'll tell you what I think.
Ed, what's the schedule like for the next few days?
That's a good question, Pat. I don't know. That's been frustrating. We don't have a plane yet. We don't know what time we're leaving. We don't know what time practice is tomorrow. We have a hotel that's signed by obviously by the NCAA. We're working on a practice time out there, trying to get a practice facility for Wednesday. We have some media obligations out there on Wednesday. I'm trying to practice Wednesday morning, so we start to customize ourselves to the time. We're going to play 11 o'clock on Thursday, which is 2 Eastern time. So I'm trying to get them up on Wednesday morning in practice. Because they should be up anyway, but the time change. Time change has knocked it out of the other 3 hours. So we're going to get up and practice. Other than that, today we're going to bring them in here at 5:15, and they had study hall and things to do academically, and then we're going to watch some tape and talk about that.
And following up on those first 2 questions, then, how concerned are you about the mental and physical exhaustion from this grind, and how do you balance it out with what you need to do?
Well, I'm concerned. I'd be foolish not to be concerned when you play 4 in 4 days at the level of basketball we had to play. The intensity, the physical part of things, the mental part of things as well. Very challenging, but our kids did a great job, and I'm going to challenge them. You know, challenge them last night. So we'll continue that. Today we're not going to go on the floor live. We're not going to do anything. We're going to go back to the film room and then give them a good dinner and send them off and tell them to go home and pack, and I'll let them know what time practice is tomorrow. As soon as I know, they'll know.
Coach, even as tired as they are, do you see a little pep in their step as far as when they got off the plane tonight, being excited about this whole situation?
Yeah, you know, they're excited to play. You know, that's you know, content the rest of April, May. I mean, come on. You know, this is what you work your life for to get to this point. I'm not going to accept that. Sure, they might. They played a few games in a few days, but that. You know, let's move on, toughen up, move on. Let's go. I'm ready to go. I'd practice. The staff had to talk me out of practice, and I was ready to practice today. You know, it was 5-1, and I do have a pretty good vote, but you know, I thought 5-1 was pretty tough today. 5 against practice, and I was the only one for it.
Speaking of Temple, you scrimmaged them in the preseason. What do you remember from that, and what did you learn from that that'll help you in the game?
You know, it was a good scrimmage for us because they're a strong physical team. We had a lot of getting better to do. I knew they were going to be a very good team when we scrimmaged them because I thought they were very talented. Coach Dunphy does a great job with Temple. So I haven't even looked at that scrimmage tape yet. I watched a couple other things this morning early, but I haven't even looked at it. So far ago, I mean, I can't even, I think that was the end of October. You know, it's a long time ago. We've changed, they've changed, they've had some injuries, guys, you know, coming and guys back. And we're a little different team too.
Building on that, how's your team's identity changed since then?
We're a much more confident group. I think we've grown into our roles. I think we have guys playing better basketball than they did, you know, obviously even in November, December, we're playing much better. And that, as a coach, that's what you want. You want improvement. If you start out doing everything well, it's hard to improve on that. So I think our guys have a lot more confidence. They're more comfortable in their roles, and they're playing better individually. Guys are playing better individually, and that's the key. And them have confidence in themselves individually.
All the analysts keep talking about how this tournament will be a tournament of matchups. What's your philosophy when you go into a game like this? Do you just try to stick with what your team does best, or do you look at what they do and try to take away certain things that the team will try?
That's twofold. I've always said to our guys that we stay the course. We have to do what we do. Of course, when you're watching somebody else and you're preparing for another team, you look at what their strengths are and try to figure out what you can possibly take advantage of or what you can try to eliminate. There are certain things that teams do very well, and you know you have to guard those types of things. Or, for instance, I said to the team against Michigan State that we had to take away their transition and their rebounding. And I brought the team to, we had a ballroom, and we had just a key taped off. And I had the kids standing around the key, the lane, and I said, this area right in here, if we control this area on Saturday, we'll win the game. If they control this square right here, if they control this square, they're going to beat us. They're going to beat us bad. And so this doesn't look like much, this little square in here, but this is the whole key to the game. So there's certain things you have to take away from teams, and once you figure out what that is, that's part of the issue. Then trying to get your kids to believe that okay, and here's how we can take that away.
Tim really stepped up his game towards the tail end of the season. How much did that contribute to the run you guys went on?
It's very important. And our kids did a great job. This is a team game played by individuals. Tim played better. He got in foul trouble yesterday, and we weren't as good because we couldn't do some of the things we talked about doing because he got in foul trouble. So I thought he played very well. At Michigan State, I thought him and Bubby were just tremendous together, and that's the way I envisioned these guys playing. Making shots, speed, fast, pushing the ball, creating for other guys. So he played very well, and he was our third scorer, and Jeff and Bubby that night.
Do you like your team coming in as the lower seed and having something to prove, or would you rather than do
I don't. When you get to the NCAA tournament, and I don't care who it is. Maybe a 116 matters, just because the level maybe of talent. Let's be honest, at times, and speed and physical nature of guys. But other than that, when you start playing games, you don't think nobody would walk out on your floor going, "Oh, we're 7, we're supposed to win," and you're supposed to lose. When you toss that ball up, you better be ready to play, because everybody in this tournament is good. Everybody in the NIT is good. And when you're playing tournament play, postseason tournament play, everybody you play is good, or they wouldn't be there. And they can beat you. So I don't get caught. I never got caught up when we were playing top 20 teams, 4, 5, or 6 of them in a row. It doesn't matter. It didn't matter to us. There's no number next to anybody's name. Once you toss it up, you better be ready to go.